It's an exhausting night, but you have to keep stepping in place or walking, talking only. You're taking only short naps. You can't count how many things you try to calm it down with your voice, touch, and by offering it water or a snack, but nothing helps. Close your eyes for an hour or so in the late morning, then clean up after your mount. The stench alone is disarming. Alright. Well, time for me to go. Can't say it was fun. 'Cause it wasn't. Sure didn't smell fun. Gentle breed is soothing, but spoiled by the sour scent of rotting soil. You avoid deeper breaths. Tircis is sitting on the bench, observing your arrival as he grinds something in a mortar. But once you greet him, he leaves his tools behind and moves to the edge of the scarp. The creepers oddly hang from his arms, resting on the ground. Wait, what did he do for me last time? He cleared something last time, and I don't remember what. That's the White Marshes. Where's the path for White Marshes? Oh, it's over here. The creepers. I forgot what he did. Did he clear the fallen tree? I got him to do something. Don't remember. I brought you your prized possessions. He grabs the package and unwraps it rapidly. At the side of the broken twig, he lets out a sigh. He finds some comfort in stroking the buckle, and even smiles at the rotten doll holding in the creeper. He takes a whiff of his old tunic, but then throws it away into the mud. Silence lingers. My potion ready? I should go for a potion. Very much so. He enters the hut, searches through a pile of clay bottles, some of them land on the floor, and brings you one that's especially small, judging by the seal. It may be seasons old. Cheers for wandering the stuff from me. Paid quite a bit for a sentimental trip. He shrugs your words aside. 'Twas nothing of the sort. 'Tis meant to be a gift. Alright, for your parents. I need the coins. Let me see what you're selling. Withers the plants. A jar with an ointment that keeps insects away. A jar with bug killing ointment. This one keeps them away. It's this one that kills bugs. It's 3. Could use it to clear bugs. I'm already here. Use it to kill bugs and then come back to creeks to get a reward for it. I probably won't get 3 out of it though. That's what I'm thinking. Will he give me 3? Because it costs 3. Hold on. I need you to open the path to White Marshes. Then you know what I need you to do. He smiles and reaches for his basket. I have a food ration. Very fine. He licks his lips, and once he spots a piece of jerky amongst your gifts, he reaches for it right away. With a full mouth, he snaps his fingers and mutters something with satisfaction. Appreciate it. Small healing potion. Okay. Alright, well, since I'm here, I'll get the bug killing ointment. Time to travel. I guess since we're already here, and since we have the time, well, we might not have the coin if we have to deal with people from White Marshes. Old forest garden, once tame, part of the woods, now neglected. Meals or supplies? Yeah, we are already here. Ruined shelter. I think we need to come here with creeks. Old forest garden. Okay, fine, let's head here. See if we can't find anything. Falcon rests on the broken signpost, but soars to the sky before you get closer. For a few minutes, it flies above you, maybe waiting for you to leave. There are many ripe fruits in sight, as well as berries and vegetables. Alright, let's spend an hour foraging. 4 bunches, well, that's good. What we find are sour apples, juicy plums, and a few clumps of sorrel. A bit of lettuce, somehow spared by the wild critters. Alright. Alright, the creepers that block the path deeper into the bog. Board. Shell crossing broad enough for wagons. There's insects. I don't want to use the insect. Yeah, I think I need the other ointment for that. Yeah, getting through here is a pain. Monastery. Yeah, we're already here. We should push in. Road twists between the flooded purplish grasses. The field ahead of you is still green, bearing the second sowing of broad beans, maybe the third one, if the land allows it. The workers ignore you. Some of them are nothing but bones. Some carry caps of flesh, wearing them like forgotten rags. And others look almost human, as if they were awoken right after death. Most of the witless shells move around. Piles of soil carry wooden logs or dig in the ground with their bare hands. But there are also those with considerable abilities. They use pitchforks, hoes, and splitting axes and confidently cross the uneven ground. That's disturbing. There's only a few breathing souls in sight. They observe your passing but keep their distance. Keep the blade at hand just in case. They aren't attacking me, so I don't need to be afraid. People who live here seem to have everything under control. No, I think I'd rather just keep the blade at hand. If the other people in the north don't trust them, I wouldn't. The guards let you in without questioning. Odd. The entrance, I guess they think, oh, if I attack, then I'll be sick upon by these dead shells. The entrance and the wall in general were recently constructed, though are still not finished. There will soon be another gate, allowing for trade and conversations without opening the village to danger. Just like in the fields, the work is divided between the undead, who carry bricks and take care of the most thankless tasks, while the locals cut rocks and spread mortar. The difficult past is still carved in the villagers' gaunt faces and crude outfits, and their brief glances show little curiosity. A few of them are sharing a meal right next to the well, and the victuals in their basket consist of green leaves, fruits, eggs, and cuts of roasted meat, the food of foragers. You're told to wait here for the mayor. Don't roam on your own. God's voice is harsh despite the stutter. Tell the magenta at a small shed. Man shows up soon after with a careless saunter, and he hardly spares you a look, instead staring at your palfrey. The stranger from the forest garden. I can't guess why you would come here. Who are you, even? His stature would be considered of average in most villages, but in comparison to the rest of his tribe, he's portly, muscular, tall, and with a large, square face. His hands are resting on the shaft of the poleaxe, placed across his shoulders, making him seem even larger. His long, straw-colored beard is shabby, makes his bald head look shiny. You can't really tell how old he is, though you see no wrinkles. Just like the others, he's wearing prominent charms, favoring tiny figures of animals made of bone and wood. Only one of them is hanging from his neck. silver amulet portraying the head of a moose with large antlers. While valuable, it looks older than the other critters, and quite crude in form. I'll best introduce myself to the mayor. Size you up. And I'm Helvius, who will let you in. Was it Tyrus? He's as much a gatekeeper as a fly as a warden to a piece of shit. He gives you a telling frown. Well, aren't you a ray of sunshine? No one to badmouth others behind their backs. Who knows? I half whisper. Maybe I got here all by myself, chop those creepers into a salad. I'm sure you realize I may be of use here. Watch your tone. You could tell I won't hurt you. I'm sure you realize I could be of use here. Yeah. Don't boast. Those like you help others when your pouch gets empty, and we've no need of you here. He starts to twist his wrists, spinning his weapon slowly. Take a good look around while you can. White marshes isn't for strangers. The turf houses are old, covered with lush grasses and flowers. You can't imagine any large family fitting inside such a small, one-chambered huts. The alleys are so narrow that only one car could squeeze through them at once. Your boots have sunk into the mud, the squares covered with deep boots prints, the noise of hammers shouting, wood splitting, and shuffling of undead leg pieces through the constant buzzing of insects. Magenta snorts, hunting down flies with its tail. There's only one elder in sight, and he's observing me. He's standing on the top of a wooden platform by the building that's unlike any other in the village. His eyes are keen, the left one is dark, the right one is gray, bright. His head and face are shaved, and his simple, undyed robe is in even worse shape than the outfits of his tribesfolk. He might be the priest. Once Helvius realizes that you're looking at, he lowers his weapon and clears his throat like a boy caught red-handed. The elder walks away, holding a walking stick with one hand and touching a wall with the other. Orinthius, says the mayor, the priest of our fellowship and the one who saved our people. He raises his hand, pointing at the dead shells bustling around the construction site. Got the undead workers. They don't bother you? It's obvious they don't. I used to listen to stories about them as a kid. He nods for you to follow him. Orinthius taught me, and they're no different than bullets on fire. He dashes forward and swings his poleaxe, bashing the skeleton's shoulder. The arm sinks into the mud, while its owner, a bit awkwardly now, keeps trying to climb up a ladder. Helvius bursts into laughter, and the locals look away without a word. See? He continues, leading you back to the well. All you need is control. Look here. He points at a dead shell with remains on the flesh, on its chest and head. There's a white and brown sparrow sitting on its shoulder, preening its feathers. Even beasts know they got another thing to worry about. Awoken are now like they were yesterday, like they were in spring, like they were a year ago. Leave worrying about them to idiots and unites. Yeah, well, I happen to be both. I mean, I'm a unite. Damn it! I hear what you say about the Awoken, but your tribe used to be strong without them. So what, Warden? That was 10 years ago, isn't it? What isn't doesn't matter. We need to trade, yet the others push us away. We won't let them choose for us ever again. I'd like to learn more about White Marshes while I'm here. Don't bother, both of us and yourself. The tribe's been taming the bogs for 5 generations by the fields. He moves toward the gates as if you had no opportunity to see them before. From a few seasons ago, thanks to Orinthius, we used to live on berries and meat, selling peat and timber, but soon we'll need no outsiders. After all these years of feeding our blood to saurians, leeches, and merchants, better days are coming. We made them come, and we deserve them. He fondly wipes his blade with his thumb, then clears his throat. If the right allows. They might not. In fact, they probably won't. So you want to separate yourself from the other settlements. The tribes with their little iron and bones struggle more and more. We're getting ready to welcome plunderers the way they deserve, 'tis all. Our palisades was enough, all this, he looks at the wall and his voice is full of pride, was built in not even 2 years, can you believe? He glanced at a yellowish skeleton that carries 2 large rocks, each too large for any human to lift on their own. Preparing for something. I don't like that. You used to sell wood, correct? He nods in approval. In the old days, our firewood roamed up all walls and toes on this side of Hag Hills, Bughill Rocks in the far north, built its own hamlet for woodcutters, and Housedale grew a fine garden for themselves, just to get by without us. They have oaks, cherries, and their own dark birches. Have no more reason to trade with us other than Pete. He glanced at the buildings. While they are indeed new, most settlements in the province would view them as crude and cramped. Any chance Asterions around? Huh? Why would he be? Pay attention to his confident stance and the strong voice with its usual hint of disdain and spot no sign of a lie. He's hardly ever been here. I have no need of wardens. Huh. Guess his disappearance isn't related to any of this. I'm surprised he's been letting this get on. Any chance you were recently bothered by Highwindman? He reaches for his hair so quickly that it makes you flinch, but then scratches his head gently. And if so, we deal with them on our own without some warden's help. According to what an old druid told me, the highwaymen bother you much more severely than you lead me to believe. So you're bothering other people with these questions as well? He scowls at you but carries on. Glacius angry with us. Took our food and tools, beat our forges, broke our traps, but we don't need a stranger's guidance. Good to know. Guidance was the one I was offering. The people of Old Pagos are fighting a plague. I'm not sure if you heard. Fuck! He looks at the dark cloud in his eyes. Who? Kids? Elders? While you speak, the nearby villagers stop their work, and even the undead are told to freeze in place, offering your ears a bit of relief. You answer a lot of questions, making the muddy square even more grim. You hear someone weeping and a young woman announcing, "'Tis not fair, even for them." The man nods in agreement, keeping the axe on his shoulders. I'll tell Orinthius. From now on, we'll gather our wood chips and twigs in the shed. Raises his voice, looking into his tribe's eyes. We'll make enough for them before winter. It's oddly kind of you. I was not expecting that. You say you know nothing about Asterion. People claim you have strong ties with your tribe. Well, let's save the pushing for later. Have you ever met Cassia? She's a warrior from Gale Rocks. Who? I repeat your question, but he shrugs. Not on much great warriors from a tribe. They're a disciplined bunch, but not a single tale about that woman has reached me. I doubt it would. Okay. Well, you say you know nothing about Asterion. People claim he has strong ties with your tribe. Helvius begins swinging his axe left and right, the heel of the half now resting in the mud. Trying to recall the past, he makes a fuzzled frown. You know what? I was told he met with our warlock often. Who knows why? Ask him if you must. Warlock. Orinthius? I'd like to speak with him. As he straightens up, the moose head on his chest bounced enthusiastically. You and many others, but he's swamped by his work, and we've enough threats in the shadows already. If he decides you're trustworthy, he may speak with you once, but why would I even ask him? To hear Wright's will must convince him that these undead ought to be burned on a pyre. Well, I'm not going to tell him that. He Just want to meet him. Sounds like an unusual soul. I need his guidance. I think that's the best answer here. I need his guidance. And seek fortune tellers and scholars, he scoffs. We have our own struggles to solve before we start leading outsiders. Damn. Okay, maybe that was the answer. Yeah. Well, shall we trade? We need what we have, but I'll take a look at what you're bringing. And if you'll seek bones, glad said an undead. Not to where my bundles. Go ahead. He names a few of her possessions, telling you to keep them in hand. Iron scraps. He scratches his chin with his blade, almost scratching it with his beard. 7. Paid 6. I guess I would get a profit. Maybe I should shop it around, though. Oh, there's a weird route. He stays away from what he calls a wicked spell, but stares at it with fascination. Mayhaps Orinthius will make a charm out of it. 3 bones. A wicked spell. I don't know, it might come in handy. Quarrels, I'd rather not. Alright, I know this is. Hold on. You know. White marshes. 7 for iron. 3 for root. I'll shop it around. That's all. Close his eyes and sighs, waiting for you to speak. Well, I guess that's it from me. I was expecting more of a all day. I guess it's farewell now. A group of children sitting in a circle, being taught by a teenager how to carve and bone. They're skinny, and one of them is sobbing. Just the guards, people from the other tribes are looking for spouses. They are, although I doubt they're gonna want someone from here. The taller gatekeeper gives you a long look. We need no matchmaker here. Our youth's work to do, only then they're free to go wherever they want. After you ask the village is open to invite new dwellers, he snorts. You think they're going to move to a village of the dead? Good joke. You don't have to be doing this. Guards, if there's a room I could rent for the night. Is there? I don't know if I want to stay here. I guess. One of them sighs and tells you to wait while you're standing. After a few minutes, a group of locals approaches a more neglected turf house and starts to empty it. They take out old crates, rags, casks, bricks, then leave them by the outer wall, at least for now. There's an old shed, explains the guard. There, you won't bother anyone. We'll be ready before you need it. Hopefully I won't need it. Can I bathe at the well? Locals observe your hands carefully while you're drawing the water. After you quench your thirst, you try to wash your face and neck, but when the older woman approaches you quickly, wagging her finger. We've not enough for this silliness, he rebukes you. Water your horse if you have to, but we need the rest for ourselves. The stern gaze of the other villagers leaving no room for discussion. Gee, that's nice. I observe the undead workers, I guess. Not being allowed to leave the main square, you observe the shells walking through the gate or helping the builders at the wall. The skeletons are not all complete. Some of them lack a rib, a foot, or a jaw. Many of their bones are cracked or broken and seem to be connected to each other with nothing at all, as if the pneuma that keeps them moving knows which parts should stay firm and which ones should twist or bend. Like the golems. Those that kept some of their skin and guts don't smell, rot, or bleed. It makes you think of dried meat. It's as if these scraps or flesh serve no purpose, and seeing how many of these laborers already have great holes in their stomachs or limbs with revealed bones, it could be that they're just in the middle of the process of becoming like their naked counterparts. The undead loyally have fulfilled their tasks. So far, you've counted 5 people able to give them orders. Some do so by speaking out loud, while one woman simply looks at a shell, no matter how far it is. The workers, while witless, maintain some sort of carefulness in their actions. They stop when someone gets in their way and use tools, if they know how, avoiding pointless harm to their shells. There may be more than 50 creatures spread across and around the village, but you can't know how many you haven't seen yet. Many of the fresher undead are elders. Among the skeletons, you spot some that used to belong to children, but not to infants. I guess that makes sense. Maybe such young shells are too difficult to sight even for the locals. Maybe they're so different from adult humans that they can't be awoken. Maybe their shells are too weak to work. Too dumb to listen to orders. No, I imagine that'd be too cruel. One of the undead workers drops a basket of foraged cranberries and leaves. Maybe because its smell is too weak, its shell is too weak. Maybe because it received a poorly phrased order. Then stays still, waiting for further instructions. Alright, well, I'm not staying here. Even if it has shelter. I could sell the iron here, but I'd rather not. I'm gonna have to make our way past the ford. I have the time. Better push my way through here than the other way. Cabin. Oh, that's not true. I needed to check out the cabin. And I needed to go this way as well. I imagine that's the dangerous path. Didn't he clear something? I remember he cleared something. Was it the fallen tree? Only the way we have to get past the ford. And to Howler's Dell. As you ride past the fields, one of the local farmers enters the road, gesturing for you to stop. He's holding a rusty sickle and carries a basket of his back, filled with various weeds and a sharp club. His patched, worn tunic is neglected but fitting for a farmer. The lean years left his face skinny and his teeth crooked, but his sad eyes hold heartwarming kindness. The one? He has a thick local accent. I've been wondering just now, small matter, you see. You don't know how to read. I don't, I'm afraid. I see. He gives you a sad smile. But still, you've a horse, I mean. He raises his eyes as if to make it clear he's aware that you're sitting in a saddle. It is. You ride places. Give me a few moments. Without waiting for your response, he runs to the village and returns to you with a small smack in his hands. How about you take it to someone smart? He unwraps the package, reveals a large wax tablet made of bone. "'Tis a letter from someone I care about, but I'm not sure what it says. I'll give you a coin once you read it for me." You take the tablet from his open palm. It's fancy, unlike the wooden ones. On its back, you find an engraving portraying a large furry beast. "Made for a troll's hit," the farmer says proudly. Why do you need my help? Yeah, why do you need my help? I thought you guys are untrustworthy, or didn't trust outsiders. He frowns as if the answer's obvious. No merchants come here these days, and no missionaries, and we don't need to read around here. You do have a priest in your village. Looks at the gate as if you just realized you're right. I asked him. His tone's cold. But he was no help. Said the letters are blurry. They look fine to me. Can he not read? Alright, fine. I'll get this read. He waves to you and steps away, clearing the path. I'll wait for you with the coin, I promised. Alright, back to what I was doing. Howler's Dell. You ride through the open gate and swiftly dismount. Some of the locals greet you politely, but they keep their distance after you notice your own smell and dirt from your clothes. I'm not broke. I am broke. Okay, well, let's go to the main square. See what we can trade for. Bring goods to sell. Surprise me. Golem rod. I'm not going to sell the golem rod. Roll bone tablet. Oh, I can't do that. Iron scraps. We can always use some iron, but these scraps are one ran away from getting trashed. See? This thing's already rusty. We'll get more to sink springs for that. Forget it. No. Troll bone tablet. That's nice work, but do you not get the stylus foot? I guess I could change the wax for a green one and make it a prettier. Wanna leave it for 2 rings? Nah, it's not worth it for 2 rings. Just curious. Bam. I guess nothing for now. About the innkeeper. Can sell a few rations, thanks. Leave the square. Travel. Could go. Check the fish trap, and I'm guessing it's probably already rotted away. Wash myself in the river. Pull out the rope. Oh, 2 fish. Alright, I have enough time to get to Pelt of the North. Guards welcomes you with a nod. Armor is nowhere in sight. That makes sense. It's late. Push the guards. Oh, we got time to play. Alright, let's play. Well, there goes my last coin. I really gotta learn how to say no. I met Elin. He says hi. She looks up, twirling her hair as she thinks. I'm sorry. Who? Foggy's son. She gives you a beamy smile. Ah, so that's his name. His accent is so thick I kind of misheard it. Forgive me. How's he doing? You gossip about the man and his companion, and a couple of the hunters join in conversation, asking about the Eastern Road, the tavern, and the traveling in general. A good couple of minutes is spent on discussing fashion creeks. Some of the hunters regret not being used to wearing leather and furs, while others are convinced that linen is more convenient. And if you're cold, just put it on your cloak, says a woman with a bandage on her cheek. After some time, the guards walk away, leaving you with Dalit and the napping boar. Kinda glad she didn't remember his name. Right, what do you know about creepers? I see. You know how it is, Leto. For you, it's 6. Come on, it'll be fun. You even told me you love talking about beasts. She giggles. Oh, don't you say such a thing. You make me sound like an old lady. I'm still a hunter, not a talker. She winks at you. Fine, 5. I don't have enough. Stop winking at me. Hooks a thumb behind her belt and smiles gently. Stop smiling at me! Yes. Looking for knowledge about wild creatures. Can't find knowledge about wild creatures. About the goblins. I also don't have enough coin for that. Alright. Any leftovers? Today. I do have more fish to sell. Guess I got 1 coin back. Have anything you like to buy? Iron scraps. 6 coins? Not happening. What do you have again? An elk fur. Can't afford it. I could sleep here. Alright, you got me. For the fish. The shivers wake you up. You hear hunters leaving the building. You leave through the window, but the fog is so dense you hardly see the wall around you. Still, they are being patrolled by the night shift. which places torches and carries lanterns. A fall will make the fog even more common. Soon roads will get too dangerous for a single rider. Any leftovers? Oh, I am lucky, aren't I? Alright. Can't afford to gamble. Don't I have a coin? Oh, yeah, I spent it. Go to a well, I can't get cleaner. Alright, I guess we're traveling. Steep house. Alright, I did learn it's called that. Elder's Cave, I should visit the Elder. Hold on. Anything that I could talk to Tully about? Oh, right. Found this wax tablet. Do you recognize it? Not the fancy one. She opens it and takes a look, quick glance. Well, it's from Havlavin. Sterion and my lieutenant were the only ones I've seen with green tablets like this. And the locals don't write chronicles. She gives it back. I can't read, but I look for a priest of the right. Oh, I know a whole bunch of priests of the right. Oh yeah, guess what? You're not gonna believe this, but I met Caius. Mentioned the tavern and Foggy's care. Tulia sighs with relief and rests her hands on her sides. Alive, that's good to hear. Deserter or not, how's he doing? He's a man of fate now, kind of. He's insane. The people around him try to put him to good use. His soul is healing, even if slowly. No, yeah, he's insane. He's just gone. You vaguely describe what you heard, making her shoulders slump. At least he's still there, here. So many things turn against him, and I'm to blame for it, together with many others. Before he joined the army, he always had something to say. Violent ways, true, but he was a brisk soul. Now he would live on the street without help or mercy. Good thing he found a new home. Voice weakens. Then you're not the one to blame for it. I guess I shouldn't judge. Part of me blames myself for not checking up on you guys sooner. What about Pyros? Nope, guess not. Okay. Traveling. Got 13 hours. I could go do some work this way. Make my travels this way. But I do need to use this potion. I doubt I caught some fish yet. So what I'll probably do is go to a fallen tree. So he didn't clear the fallen tree. Thought he did. Thought he did something. I just don't remember what. Oh, I was supposed to go with Pagos, wasn't I? Oh, I have to pay every time? That's just cruel. Alright, to the watchtower. Enter the tower. Spread the bug repellent around. At least they won't bother me in my sleep. Is that only temporary? You open the jar, releasing the pleasant herbal sweetness. Take a stick and use it as a brush, spreading the ointment near the larger piece of furniture under which you'd expect to find the colonies of worms and insects. You also put it on top of and inside the pallets, as well as around the windows and the door and in the corners. The remaining balm finds its place in a couple of holes that you spotted between the bricks. In less than half an hour, you already see roaches that either lie still or kick their legs desperately while on their backs. Okay. Maybe something will fly into it. Well, I could go tell Creeks. And since I feel so good, might be a good chance to go into the dangerous area. The path leading downward through the hills, the forest gets thicker and the signs of human touch are rare. A lone large boulder surely draws attention. Can't guess its age, but the paths around suggest it has passed plenty of times already. You stop Magenta to take a closer look. The remains of red paint are covering the eastern side. It's the same message as the one you saw at the southern rounds, don't enter, danger ahead. Look down the dark road and hear the distant roar of a dragon. Yeah, maybe I'm not ready to enter the heart of the forest. Take a look at your bundles, mounts, and weapons, and think about the beasts of the woods, and I'll be able to outrun them. Well, count to search for the tracks that found out the watchtower. Hard heels can't be mistaken. The travelers didn't mask their steps. They passed a rock from both sides, heading deeper into the forest. The stream ahead will be crossed by a humble ford made of hundreds of rock they used to reach from bottom to surface, but is now partially demolished either by time or a living creature. For a rider, crossing won't be much of a problem, but most travelers would have to take off their pants and shoes. Moving an entire wagon would pose quite a challenge. The water is clean and blankets are low. Good watering spot for Magenta. Spend some time gathering large rocks and throwing them into the water. How long? An hour should be enough to cover at least half the gaps. Let Magenta graze and drink by the stream. Wander along the edge of the dark forest on one side and a colorful meadow on the other, and seek rocks smaller than your head. Carrying them makes you tired quickly. After you're done, the deepest holes are now filled by rocks. I got time to work some more. Additional work would surely exhaust you. 9 hours is all I need. Not unlike the builders from the days before the 10 cities, you put the last boulder, taming the scrap for wilderness, even if slightly. The tightly arranged rocks remind you of a cobbled road leading to Havlavin. Even a wagon carried by 2 mules could get to the other side without stopping. I was around for a minute or two, my hands on my hips, observing the results of my work. The color of leaves range from purple to greens and overwhelm you with shadows. The stems of the shrubs twisted in all directions, seeking the slightest scraps of sunlight. The trees are not too tall, but the trunks are as wide as buildings. I don't know what I'm gonna find. It might be best. Can't use my inventory? Damn. The neglected road has been carved into the thicket and at an inch at a time. A corridor of plants with the floor made of pebbles that give way to saplings and vines. From time to time, you pass by many turns, relics left by roaming dragons, unicorns, and trolls. Some of them are still used by beasts, boars, striped cats, or packs of goblins. The birds are sharing their songs as cheerful as ever. Necessary, clear any thicket that's in Magenta's way. You reach a gap in a tunnel of plants. The meadow nourishes a lonely tree, growing in the shadow of a rocky hill surrounded by humble grasses. Near tree roots, a wolf without fur is feasting on a human corpse in a way of your presence. Oh, no. Not the wolf without fur. Okay, look around. You see no creatures around. The road is passable. The birds in the sky seem harmless. The beast raises its head. Its ears are shaking. Alright, let's leave this place. Gento obeys gladly. The beast spares you a glance, but doesn't follow you. No point in dying in the middle of nowhere. Wish I could help, but I'm not ready for such a fight. Maybe the beast will break the bones before they get touched by the fog. Maybe. Your eyes wander between the wall of trees and shrubs on one side and a dirty pond on the other. The road itself is wide, covered with soggy logs that keep the ground from burning into mud. It's breaking under your mount's hooves, letting out what sounds like a sigh of relief. The water in silvery sinks of carrion and is covered with a blanket of green plants and white flowers that draw countless buzzing insects. Even a horse shouldn't drink it. The Magenta tries to get familiar with the unusual pavement and speeds up to jump over a fallen trunk blocking your path. Once it lands, it breaks one of the logs in halves. Soon after, you reach a massive black saurian resting on the ground, enjoying the light at the edge of the forest. It seems to be ignoring your presence. Once again, Magenta canters and trusts its instincts. Once the monster raises its head, you're already in the air. The beast pushes itself away from the ground with its forelimbs, trying to catch any chunk of flesh with its massive jaws, but you safely hit the ground and return to a trot slowly. Pay attention to the dead trees sticking out of the pond. Looks similar to that saurian. Oh, it's bright, empty, surrounded by a sparsely growing trees, gentle hills, and meadows. Leads you to a cairn, a pile of rocks ranging in size from your abdomen to your fist. There's also quite a few tiny pebbles. A narrow, hardly passable trail leads south, and likely won't survive another year without travelers. For the tracks I found at the fallen tree, I'll take a closer look at the cairn. Look for a spot where I can place a rod for Odysseia, that's true. Look for snakes in the grass, grab the reins, and climb uphill through the sparse flowers and grasses as green as the merchant's dress. The few trees you pass by are healthy but unremarkable, more like shrubs with trunks. You get a nice look from the top of the hill, but even from here you can't see the tips of the trees to the north and west. You're surrounded by the walls and blankets of greenery. You approach the closest scrubby tree with thick branches that grow right above the ground. Prepare the rod. You allow Magenta's to graze, then step on the lower branches, getting up quickly. Lean your weight against the dry bough, holding the bronze rod with one hand and tying it with the other. In no time, you land back on the grass. Alright, climb down the hill. You're by the cairn. Take the narrow path south. I take a... Why is it so stilted? Close look at the cairn. It's wider than two people standing side by side and taller than Magenta. The grass surrounds it tightly. It must be years old. But could just be older than any village in the north. You will find rocks in many colors, including red, cream, white, black, and blue, and many dotted or mixed ones. While the cairn stays firmly beneath your torch, it would be easy to shatter it with a pickaxe or a single swipe of a dragon. You also notice pieces of old chicken bones pressed among the rocks. Unfortunately, no coins. For the tracks I found at the fallen tree. Without a doubt, the travelers were here, led by a person in hard heels, though there are more tracks around, both older and younger. Can I? I can. Okay, good chance to eat. Now, let's dismount and follow the tracks west. You soon turn north into an old game trail, wide enough for your mount to enter the thicket. After a few minutes and with little effort, you reach an even wider trail. You get back in the saddle and ride uphill, following a convenient rocky trail covered in sunlight, cleared of plants. Once you get to the top, you look around. From there, you get a good view of the heart of the woods and spot the smoke coming from the villages far in the distance. The further path ends at the ravine. Look over the edge, the gentle brook far below. The hole is too wide to be crossed with a jump even for Magenta. Narrow your eyes. On the other side is a simple bridge made of logs and ropes, now rolled up and resting by a green shrub. Make a grappling hook out of the rope, the carved bones. Even though I may take a lot of time and effort, try to walk around the gully. I already have a grappling hook, do I not? Oh, did I not buy the grappling hook? I thought I did. Oh no, yeah, bone hook. Perfect. After the 12th attempt, it gets stuck between the stems of the shrub. Put the loop around and conveniently place rock and put away the unessential equipment, including the armor. Once your legs are swinging in the air dozens of yards above the roaring water, you think about the warm beds and safe alleys of Lavin. Finally, you touch the other side. Your itching hands are red. Lift the wooden bridge and place it across the gully. Untie my rope. path is canopied by overhanging trees and so narrow that your mount would struggle to turn around. Staying on foot, you grab the lead rope and follow the corridor carved in a lush thicket. You notice the scent of rotting leaves. Soon after the path widens a bit, you notice a shell larger than your torso. Its 8 legs are as long as you are tall, climbing to a tree that's on your way. You freeze. The dark, hairy thorax matches the browns of the plants. Maybe you didn't notice me. What are you looking for, paying attention to? A tree? Trees are young and lush, hardly reaching above the undergrowth, canopying the trail. The fallen twigs and barks you pushed off the trail. Okay, spider. It's large enough to hunt for humans. Its 8 legs are as long as you are tall, clinging to a tree that's on your way. The dark, hairy thorax matches the browns of the plants. Maybe I should turn around. I don't really know what to look for. Know who to ask. Alright, well, take the narrow path south, see where that goes. Grab Magenta's lead and use your axe to get through the branches and the tall grass. After a few minutes, you reach a colorful meadow with orange, red, and white flowers as tall as wheat fields. Their late summer scent lures all sorts of insects as well as tiny birds. The path ends at the edge of the glade. Bird or ape meat. Get me from above. Move forward, but keep an eye on the closest trees. Cat could leap at me from among the flowers. I keep looking around. I observe the ground. A snake may bite my leg. I don't trust this place, so turn back. Bird or an ape may get to me from above. No, I'd best look for cats, I think. They're the more dangerous ones. You tether your mount to the tree and tread forward carefully, keeping your eyes and weapon high. Soon, the nearby birds flee from your scream. You reach to your side and look down. A 100-legged worm, as wide as your fist and maybe 3 feet long, has crawled underneath your gambeson and chewed off a bit of your flesh. You pull by its tail and stretch out your arm. The creature wiggles in the air, incapable of bending its shell enough to scratch your hand. It's red, covered with armor and made of plates. You throw it away and touch the hole that it left in your clothes. There's hardly any blood. Bastard. Seek anything of value among the plants? I don't know anything about herbs. Your step forces the mice and insects to spread, but your presence remains hardly noticed by the colorful life around you. Well, that was pointless. Okay, well, so continue my journey. Every minute or so, you get lost in dense woods. When possible, you stick to the remains of the beaten path, clearing the overgrown thicket that blocks your way. But it would take many more travelers to stay in such a trail. The land around you may lack greens, but is far from being empty. The fallen boughs and dead stumps are slowly devoured by ants and mushrooms. A web-like labyrinth of wooden walls, where the white termites, larger than your hands, continue their never-ending march. Their guards notice your presence, but simply form a warming line in front of their workers. Trees are taller than the temple in the city, with trunks resembling the legs of giants. The shadows they cast are like a carpet, and a few beams of light nourish the sparse bushes and ferns. The only plants that aren't choked by the rotting, late summer leaves, shaped like toothed squares, are large as your face. I'm more familiar with this part of the forest and may be able to find a smoother path. The forest gives way to rocks and green hills, but among the tall trees are numerous monkeys sitting in small groups. Loud, each shorter than half your size, they distort the green leaves with red, brown, white, and blue fur. As you approach the territory, their excitement grows. They climb up and down the trunks, sway on the vines, jump between the branches, or hang down, putting to use their long tails. They throw at you countless angry glances and grunts, but also cones, branches, and chestnuts. A piece of their fresh feces lands close to Magenta, but the pack's aim is rather miserable. 2 precise shots from the crossbow should be enough to discourage them. Need to endure it, I ride forward. No, I've learned my lesson. They respond to aggressiveness. Yell back at them. Okay, maybe that was the wrong move. You approach one of the crowded trees, holding your trusted axe. The creatures spread at first, but then surround you and your pal Frey, throwing at you anything that they can grab while staying among the branches. Cover your face with no avail. Two animals move to lower branches and cackle as they effortlessly dodge your swipes. Your angry shout is met with mocking howls. A few more creatures get on the ground. A lucky rock reaches your shoulder, making you retreat. Damn. Alright. Now with the saddle and rush magenta. Air in these bright, arid hills is much drier than in the woods down below. Among the humble meadows, you spot a stone plateau, on top of which a group of bipedal creatures is feasting on a large carcass. From what you can see, only a few of them would reach your knees, but as the pack notices your graze, it starts to regroup. The magenta through a tree. I can handle a few bites from the tiny jaws. Not looking for a fight, stay on my track. For now, I just observe them. Hobos, known for their long tails and colorful scales, rarely bother humans. Their small saurian paws are dabbling in the puddle of blood left by their meals, ribs of which are sticking out of the lacerated stomach. While they make a lot of noise and keep running all over the place, they are far from presenting the threat of the dragonlings. There's about 8 of them, and no reinforcements among the rock faces. The animals resemble a mouthlon or an ibex. And why not? I'm feeling a little aggressive. Grab your axe and head towards the crack slowly. Climbing to the top is simple enough. You step forward and take a few swings, raising your voice in your taunts. The beasts keep running left and right, stretching out their shells, jumping up and warning you with their shrieks. They are quick, nimble, and as loud as a bird. Finally, the largest kobold, whose head is covered with red scales, risks an attack. It's close enough to take a hit in the maw, and while its nearest companions follow its lead, the others hesitate. One of them manages to reach your sleeve, tearing it as you lift it up, but you then grab it and throw it away, right into another member of its pack. After that, the entire group runs to the rock face and makes impressive jumps onto the higher ledges, leaving you with a few more disconnected screeches. You doubt it's the first time the prey gets stolen. You examine the carcasses. It's an ibex with brown, elegant fur. Its black horns were broken in half. There's a red knot attached to one of its front ankles, a sign of ownership. Damn. Give me this, scavengers. That wasn't worth it. The clopping of your palfrey carries the silent corridor of rocks. Quintus is sitting on the wall, cleaning his crossbow. Loads the rope quickly on the other side of the wall, climbs down, and opens the gate. Still alive, huh? Yeah. I'm alive. God damn it. Any idea who could be the owner of an ibex marked with a red knot? Blinches and narrows his eyes. Red knot? We use those in my home. Like, not my, but old Pagos. Huh. Well, I found one. Anyway, please open the gate. Really sure? I'm on the other side. I'm trying to... Oh, I'm already on the other... Okay. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, well, that was a humbling experience. Very humbling experience. Don't want to go through that again. It took the whole day. At least I mapped out some of it. Still alive. Hallersdale, I need to rest. I don't think I have coin to rest. Nope. No, I do not. Broke, fill the trough. I'll just sleep it off. Okay. Well, I need to improve my armor. First, I need some dragon coin. 3 coin, thank goodness. That's fine. Let's go to Bion. She's embracing a brown-haired woman that you're unfamiliar with, who enters the house when you get closer, leaving the two of you alone. I need your services. Half an hour. Jack will be partially re-sewed and repatted. No, I'm paying you for those repairs. 20, huh? Okay, what about those fancy clothes again? Nah, I can't afford any of those. Any idea who could have left this rawhide behind? I found it on the North Road. I'm asking someone. Bring it close, but don't keep it away from my fabrics. But do keep it away from my fabrics. After a minute of examination tells you to take it away. Very sloppy. Those from creeks do not know what they're doing. We would not buy, no doubt. So it's from creeks. Okay. I'll ask around. Any chance you feel like chatting? Particularly by Aristos? Long pause. I guess you deserve a brief answer. You're a good client. I wouldn't think so, but okay. Looks at your forehead. He'd be better at carving toys, not box traps. She looks away. Right. Okay. Well, since I'm here, I'm gonna help us about. Tell me about your faith. Let's change the topic. Farewell. Go to the main square. I should go see the mayor. Then I do have information now. Throw the troll bone tablet. Could you tell me what's in here? Or at the other tablet? Pretty. She taps on the carving on the back. You sure you don't want to leave it to Kankios for a few bones? She glances at the letters, then puts the tablet on the table. It's not worth 2 bones. Trust is worth more than 2 bones. It's just some farewell letter written to Valens. His husband says he couldn't stand this nightmare's village, and he met someone else during his hunting trip, and ends with the "we will start a new family, goodbye." No signature. Oh. Well, shit. Maybe I should sell it. Alright, well, I bring news about the other parts of the peninsula. The smile gestures for you to go on. The squad that made camp at the southern crossroads now nothing more than 2 people. They plan to return the hub. Oh, I already said that. It's actually less than 2 people. I'm surprised they managed to stay alive till this day, and such an inexperienced group here shows that the officials misjudged this land. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. She leans forward, and even though she smiles, her voice is close to a whisper. I wonder, why are you here? What pushes someone to become a Roadwarden? You wonder too much. In your life, that's all I need, doesn't matter why. Need coin, help a friend I care about, use the coins to retire early in prosperity and safety. Need to build connections with the local leaders. I'll be a new player in the Merchant Guild. I want to be remembered as the one who brought peace and order to this realm. I just want to help people. Nah. It's not like I'm giving you any details. A new life, that's all I need, doesn't matter why. So mysterious. But I understand. So you're more of an adventurer than a soldier. I'd say it's going to suit you well in the peninsula. One needs to know how to improvise. There's something uneasy about her smile. Any chance you got some work for me now? She sighs with relief and gestures for you to follow her to the creek. The light dances on its surface, and you can't miss the fact that its humming conveniently camouflages the mere voice. I have a perfect task for someone of your trade. Behind a northern gate, you'll find the road. It leads to a coastal beach that used to be occupied by our fishers. Hit by a cold gust of wind, she adjusts her cape covering her neck. That hamlet allowed us to watch the sea, and every 10 days we had as many fish and crabs as we desired, without the grace of the villages in the north. She looks to your eyes. However, an earthquake led to a rock slide and has made the road impassable. We were meant to clear it, and now, almost a decade later, the route is too unknown for us to risk long journeys. Raises her arm, trying to place it around your shoulders. Yeah, let her, whatever. Her gentle hand is as light as a leaf. The druids have convinced my people to accept the way it is, the will of the wilderness. She smells of roses. But enough time has passed. The roads grow desolate, and we need to put our trust in ourselves. Help me clear the paths, and my neighbors will follow us. If not because of their ideals, then because of their stomachs. They're hungry? After you took the trade away? From White Marshes? You're still hungry? As she steps away, her fingers stroke your neck gently. The more time we spend on the road, the more monsters will hunt us. With your palfrey, you can save us from danger. Help me retrieve the hamlet, and you'll prove to me that you're a friend of Howard's Dell. Stop by riding to the Buried Pass, see if there's any lairs there that would need our interference. Asking for a lot for a scrap of parchment. Oh, but there will be coin, of course. Laughing, she returns to her chair. 5 for helping us clear the pass, 5 for letting me know what you've learned about the hamlet, another 3 if you have to fight in any of these places. For a day of 2 work, that's more than fair. I've already been to Claff's Mountain Pass. She rests her chin on the back of her hand and listens patiently to your story. And taps on the table once you mention the buried rags. None of us were there on the day of the earthquake. Whatever corpses may be there, they've surely been awakened by the fogs by now. She straightens up. It's still better than a wyvern or a lair of harpies. The plan stays the same. You'll take 20 diggers and guards and escort them to the rock slide. Your job's to keep them alive and well. She looks at the sky. May take many hours, maybe even an entire day, so you should start in the morning. You'll get the first share of your payment once you clear the pass. Alright, I'll take care of it. It is a lot of coins. Okay. She can't charm her way into my good graces. I'm suspicious of her. I guess I do have time. Fine, I'll go ask about their fate. She tilts her head in the right and looks directly into your eyes. What do you want to know? Wright's followers have the tablets. How about you? You have any holy scripture? For a moment you think she's not sure how to answer, but then you realize that she's humming to herself silently. She raises her hand and gestures for you to look around. The world of our ancestors was not the same as the one we see. They had their truth, we have ours. Stories come from humans. The animals think nothing of them, yet prosper. I guess that's fair. I'm starting to negotiate with the Merchant Guild. What are your thoughts? I don't know if I want to play that card yet. Although I guess we were pretty public about it, so it's not a secret. Looks towards your axe and clamps her hand over her staff with her new strength. We are not ones to tell our village how to act or how to think. If they decide to follow their mare, we'll follow. Why'd you say it that way? She lowers her voice and her gaze enters like a storm. When a bear enters your house and you do not scream at it, nor hold the door for it to leave, you wait, throw it a fish. But if it heads to the bed of your child, you jump on its back, ever if all you have are your teeth. For a single heartbeat, you see a red line in her eye. They don't seem like they're fans of the idea. Sucks, because it's partly my idea. I better prepare for the rock slide. I'll go get this gambeson repaired, but in the meantime, beholder. Make an offering. I still don't know what I would offer. Okay, Elder's Cave. Let's see what's going on with him. Family of deer you met some days ago has returned to the pond, this time accompanied by more members of the pack. One buck towers over all the others, with antlers as large as your palfrey. Takes a few steps towards you, shaking his head. You better stay where you are. You observe the curious, lazy glances while the adults quench their thirst. The young ones are playing in the tall grasses or basking in the middle of the road. It takes quite a few minutes before the large beast orders the others to head back to the woods. Its bellow is like a falling boulder. Guess I'll wait. Flock of colorful birds circling the sky. The old druid is standing upright, giving you a harsh look. You cut off the root of beholder, he says without hesitation. It did not belong to you. Ooh, how does he know? Before you respond, he turns away and washes his hands in the spring. Takes him a few minutes to look at your lips. I don't know how I should have addressed you. I want to fix my mistake. I have no idea. Well, can you blame me? I had no idea. It was my first day here. I wonder why you don't wear robes like the... No, let's act. Let's act like we came here for a reason. Bring news from Old Pagos. A terrible plague has fallen upon it. Although I doubt you'd be willing to help them. Something about your attitude tells me that. His eyes widen. What did you say? A plague? Tell him everything you've heard about the symptoms. He intently observes your lips and sometimes asks you to clarify some details. Though you usually don't know how to answer him, he finally nods, then turns away and approaches the garden beds. Lost in his thoughts, you wait in silence. He speaks after a short break. There's nothing I can do. His words are trembling. Pissing me off, and that's it? Are druids really that useless? No, he is pissing me off. Well, I think he knows that. I think this is a better knife to twist. You'll have their blood on your hands. I wish things were different, but I'll not cast away this shell for their sake. I need to stay among the living. It is my duty to have howlers. That's ill and weak. He pauses and takes a deep breath. To take care of my wife. Osel says you have to sacrifice yourself. Healing takes no one. To heal a shell consumed by forces I do not understand. I must force one's spirit to crush the weakness like a blind child trying to trample a spider. I could help one soul, maybe two, but I cannot clean an entire place. I may die trying. I may die succeeding. I may fail and stay there as another meal for the illness. He nods slowly. Another sacrifice. Is there anything I can do? He strokes his beard and examines your equipment. There may be. You can help me cast a spell of great power, but it will take much. You are not there, and you have to give up a grand reward. 'Tis a quest for a hero and our messenger. There are no heroes. You may be right. Tell me more, and I'll decide what to do later on. Before you finish, he turns away from you and looks at the falling water. Then listen. Help me awaken Beholder, the god totem from the swamp. You've already passed its altar in the crossroads north from here. It needs to be fed, and only feast on spirits. The pneuma held in human blood, the magic locked in items. Offer them, and it will answer your call. But 'tis a hungry billing, and it will not be nurtured by a single gift. Who knows how much it wants? He carries on without pausing as if he's speaking from memory. But let it grow and it will reward you. Take its holy seed and bring it back to me. I'll enter the village, and through the totem's power I'll replenish my strengths and keep the pneuma before it leaves the lungs of humans. He stands in the same spot for a few breaths and finally looks back at you. So I need to offer magic to the altar. What must we do next? When you deliver the seed to me, we'll leave, though we'll need to get to Old Pagos and back. It's a long road for a shell of my ears, but Tonan's gift will keep me strong. Tell me more about this seed. I don't know if I'm comfortable with pagan magic. His voice becomes confident and solemn. Behold, the bear's but one fruit a year, and only if its hunger is satisfied. The heart of this fruit, its seed, holds a great power of youth, strength, and magic. Therefore, when the winter ends, the people of Howlersdale gather at its feet and give away the Numa held in their blood and possessions. 'Tis a sacrifice that would kill a single soul, but when shared by many, 'tis but a sign of acceptance, an act of overcoming pain. Human sacrifice. It sounds like you're trying to push me into some dark magic, old man. Maybe it's time to ask the druids from the village to help me. I'm sure they could spare some of their Numa. Do you have anything I can give to this altar? Yeah, it does sound like you're trying to push me into some dark magic. Just for you to stop. None of us would accept the sacrifice of a human life. The grow beholder needs not our souls, but rather any Numa I could find. Your judgment is not needed here. Maybe it's time to ask the druids from the village to help me. Sure they could spare some of their Numa. Puts his hand on his side and looks at the clouds above him. If they were willing to help you, they would not send you here, at least not all by yourself. They stare into the promises, the power, and the fears that such promises bring. For them, losing Numa is a risk. You must understand, old Pagos is not a friend of theirs, as it bows to the right. The creature that laughs when we wither. Many people would not spare a tear for this place, and would much prefer it to turn into a house of boars and rocks. And you're different? You have anything I could give to the altar? I have no reason to believe your words. If you help these people, I'll admit I was wrong, but I'll not give you anything. I guess that means no reward, huh? Fine. I know everything I need. If you say so, traveler. If you say so. I didn't realize you were a druid at first. I wonder why you don't wear robes like the druids from Hallersdale. I wear what I need, and therefore what is needed of me. He speaks with pride. My ancestors knew such paths lead to freedom. Not empty gestures, but honesty, gratitude, and tranquility. It looks towards north. Those left in the villages are putting their hands to matters that fit into the empty-hearted. Their petty clothes are but a costume, better than the dress of a merchant or a petty rock thrown into a lake. Okay. Well, you don't like me yet, so any of these probably bad. Well, I guess I can ask you this. You were Dice's teacher, am I right? Loud sigh looks away. He's still around. Glad to hear that. His voice carries pain, but he carries on. You catch a hint of shame. He cares not many good tales of our shared time, I expect. He claims I'm not gonna lie to him about that, I don't really care. He claims your tribe was forcing him to follow pagan teachings, but at least you were a good teacher. Shoulders drop. I was not there to protect them, and my neighbors treated him poorly. One night he just left all by himself, yet he reached his home, despite the threats of the bogs. His Numa carries great potential, though from what I've heard his soul is still maturing. That's one way to put it. His eyes look even brighter than usual, but his voice grows stronger. If you plan to see him again, tell him I'm sorry. Not just for my daughter or for that violent day. I'm sorry I failed him. I don't know what that's about. But Tyra seems like he wants to reunite with his parents. He went through a great deal of trouble. Well, I went through a great deal of trouble to get them a gift. Nah, should there be? He looks into your eyes, challengingly so. He's done nothing wrong and was rejected not for his faults, but for what's beyond his control. His desire is that of a sick, lonely soul. The strength in his voice starts to dwindle. But nay one come pluck it out with woods alone. In his heart, he's sitting at the one branch that connects him to his ancestors. But the truth is, he's been tossed aside. What he needs are new roots, and to let go of his longing. Long pause as he looks at the spring, unable to hear its constant humming. Ever if you were to say it to him, he wouldn't listen. But once he seems lost, tell him I'd rather hear him out, like in the old days. I helped another druid find cursed soil in Howler's forest garden. Your tale takes less effort than you expected it would, since the elder seems to be well aware of the spot. A shameful, deserved trouble. 'Tis the tomb of a nightmarish object, but it does not belong to only Michelle. The gathering is more than capable of handling it. Though, we can only hope they'll be eager to find a lesson in this endeavor. He rubs his forehead right between his eyes with a pained frown. But this hope has served me little so far. Well, I doubt I should probably mention those. But since we're talking about people you've worked with, I'm trying to learn more about this trapper Aristos. Are you sure he's a trapper still? His voice is inquisitive. I spoke with him in this very place not so long ago, and he was convinced he's going to take a lot of craft. Interesting. Alright. Well, it was nice talking to you. For whatever that's worth. I don't think we're gonna have that kind of conversation. I guess I should go see El Pagos. I have the witch's message to deliver after all. Things just feel heavier as the days go on. So why do I feel lighter?